Hey everybody, how's it going today? We're going to take a look at the newest collab in the world of Monster Strike. It is Detective Conan, Meitantei Conan, Case Closed, however you want to call it. It is an anime that I actually watched in the past. I am certainly I've fallen off the train. The amount of episodes this series has was quite wild, and so once college hit, definitely fell off. But it is an anime that I love watching, and maybe I'll try to catch up again one of these days. Probably not, but well, without further ado, let's go over the details of the collab. I would have included the beginning, but given that Monster Strike itself got hit with a copyright claim, I'm worried just by playing a quest if the music is gonna hit something. But anyways, here are the gacha monsters that you can pick up for this collab. We've got Edogawa Conan in the water element here. We'll go over the details of each monster in a bit. Then in the light element, we've got Amuro Toru here. And in the dark element, we've got Akai Shuichi. Now, of course, don't get confused if you can read Japanese by the names on the image here, which is their base form, which of course has their, their true name, their civilian name, I don't know, whatever it is. So that's the name that they have on the base form versus what they have on the transcended form, which is an interesting thing to think about. Now, for the 4-5 star monsters, we have Ranne-chan here in green, in the wood element, and we've got Haibara in the fire element. Of course, these tend to be a little bit stronger than your normal 4-5 star monsters, so definitely consider picking up one at least. Now let's go to the strike shot details of these monsters, because that's usually what makes or breaks these characters for whether or not it's absolutely worth chasing after them. For example, if you don't care about Detective Conan, is it something that you should chase after? And for here, we've got, of course, let me reiterate the shield mode, which is a new ability for the game here. This simply increases Conan's defense for a set amount of turns, after which activates as soon as you move on to a new map. So every time that happens, defense up, and then it'll go away eventually. Strike shot, you can see, is a speed power up for a set amount of turns. Now the amount of turns depends on whether you activate your strike shot on the first or second gear. For the first gear, it is a 1.1 10% boost to him. That lasts 5 turns, right? So itself, and then a full revolution until its next turn. And for the second gear, it is a 1.4 times boost, so 40%, and that lasts 9 turns. So you go, it's his next turn, and the turn after that also gets that buff. So it's an interesting, long buff. This is one of those strike shots that you want to use early, right, to make sure that you really maximize Conan's damage output there. Now, he does have a healing wall aspect. Every wall that he touches will turn into a healing wall, and the amount of healing it does and the amount of turns it lasts changes. On the first gear, it is 1,000 heal, which only lasts a single turn. On the second gear, it is 2.5k heal, and that lasts for 3 turns. And regardless of whether you do it on the first or second gear, at the end, he will fire a sleep dart at the nearest enemy. If you are able to not touch that enemy, it will last for 2 turns. But of course, once you touch a monster that is sleeping, you will wake them up. So sleep is always a bit, I don't know, it's kind of a disappointing. That's the way to end it. Doesn't do anything significant damage wise either, I believe. So I know people are a little bit disappointed with the strike shot here. GameWith currently does give Edogawa Conan a 8.0, which is average for a collab monster. Next up, for the light element, we've got Amuro Toru here in the light, and strike shot here is, it will null damage all gravity barrier, warps, and mines. And of course, it is pretty obvious that the fact that half of that is useless, since he already has null gravity barrier and null damage wall on the main. So Wish they added more. It will delay all enemies, and you can see on the right that the delay changes based on the gear you use the strike shot. First gear is a 60% buff, along with only delaying monsters for a single turn, whereas the second gear is a 2.4 times buff, 140% extra damage, which is, that's a nice number. And the delay goes up to 3 turns. And the last aspect, which is really interesting to think about, is the fact that he will reduce all friendly touched units' strike shots by half. And the important thing to note here is that the amount of turns it uses to calculate how much it divides in half will include the second gear of monsters if it has one. Right? So for example, let's use Amuro himself for example. Right? 16 plus 8 is 24. You make your turn, it goes down to 23. So because we're adding both, right, the second gear is included here. 23 divided by 2 is 11.5. I believe they rounded up, so you will reduce by 12 turns there, which is, it's an interesting aspect to think about, right? It does take in the full second gear strike shot to divide in half. So we'll have to see if people can find some, nasty loops. I think if you have a full Amuro team, you can easily loop strike shots that way, which might have interesting implications given that the attack boost is 2.4 times. But again, I think time will tell if we can do something interesting with his strike shot here. He is currently at an 8.0 on game 1. And then I think this one looks like to be the star prize of the gacha. We got Akai Shuichi here. Again, strike shot not only powers up Akai for his turn, but he does follow-up damage at the end of all of your other friendly units' turns until it's his next turn. And the cool thing is that he is, of course, aiming for the weak point of the boss. So you're going to be dishing out some good damage even when it's not his turn. The first gear strike shot gives him a 1.44 times buff to himself, and then the follow-up damage is 18 times his attack stat. Oops, sorry, I did not change to him here. So very interesting thought there. 18 times 23k, that's a significant amount of damage, right? It's about 400k, around that range. And then the second gear, you got 2.16 times buff to himself, again over 100% attack bonus with his strike shot, and the damage that follows up is multiplied by 2. Again, it is 36 times his attack stat there. So I think I don't think there's any doubt that Akai, at least after day 1, appears to be the big winner in this gacha. So if you want to get one, it looks like it is Akai, but we'll have to see. Again, people will play around, people will find some new things. Of course, I think Conan is supposed to have some viability on one of those fairly harder stages. So when it comes around to play that stage, if it really if it breaks that stage or makes it significantly easier, I think more people will give him a little bit more credit in terms of that. And you can just see what output he can give. Now, I do know his pump combo, right, the soccer ball, which is just charge shot, he does make a sound after every activation of his bump combo, which is a little bit annoying. We'll see. Anyways, let's take a look at the 4 5-star monsters. Let's start with Haibara here in the fire element. We got Super Minesweeper M, Recovery M, Strike Shot Turn Reducer, all on the main. On the gauge, we've got Null Block and Strike Shot Turn Charge. She is a blast type, by the way. And Strike Shot is speed and power up, and then will increase the attack of all of your friendly units, as well as reducing the slowdown rate of those monsters. Definitely, that's a nice combo to have, both to make them stronger and make them slow down less. So definitely might be able to see Haibara here, bring her into some quests to give your team a utility boost. Obviously you're exchanging survivability because it is a 5-star monster for that, but I could definitely see that being a thing with Haibara here. She is currently given a 7.0 in game width, so that means there's nothing breaking about her skill set, but you know, it's a solid collab monster. And then we have Ranne-chan here in green, Minesweeper M, Null Magic Circle, Weak Point Slayer, Bump Combo Boost M. On the gauge we've got Super Null Speed, Speed Down Wall, and Dash M. Sorry, now that there's the the null warp walls, I just gotta make sure I double check the kanjis for that. Strike Shot is a speed and power up, and then after you are done moving, she will attack the first enemy hit and kick them up afterwards. So like I said, Strike Shot, a bash kick is always a nice source of static damage. That follow-up attack is 0.75 times her attack stat. There's 12 activations of that, and then she will go to the enemy and then kick it up. That first impact, once she hits the enemy, is 5 times her attack stat, and then the kick is a static 250k damage. I don't know. I was expecting something more flashy for Ranne-chan here. I don't know if this is gonna be all that flashy and usable in many stages. I mean, maybe again if there's a huge uptick in magic circle quests, or in combo with the speed down walls, which we're already seeing with the speed down walls. But I don't know. Seems a little tough. All right. So let's also make sure we go over the paid pack exclusive monster. Again, it just costs 980 yen. You can go to the shop here. It is on the top banner here, which you can purchase if you desire. 980 yen, and I guess since the exchange rate with at least US dollars is an all-time best, I think they were saying the best rates in like 20 years. Maybe it's something to think about if you're willing to spend money. Currently, Game Width is giving them an 8.0, and of course, do not forget that this pack monster does function as a max luck during this collab. And of course, if you are new to this game and don't know what that means, you want to max luck a monster because they will guarantee you 2 extra chests once you clear a stage, which obviously will give you a better chance to give drops for the quests you are running, which in turn makes it faster to max luck that monster, so you can continue that cycle of getting more max lucks, which will help you out in various stages. But just by having this monster, it functions as a max luck, so you are automatically guaranteed to get those 2 chests at the bonus 2 chests at the end of the stage if you lead with this monster. Now, do keep in mind that is only for the duration of the collab. Once the collab ends, it goes back to 5 luck, and you'll have to find another monster to get that perk on. And just the summary, I won't say it again because I did go over it in the last news, but it's high specs, it's a rare kit, seems like it's a solid monster for Nobile if that's something you haven't finished yet. Overall, it does seem like based on other opinions that I've been reading, seems like a decent purchase if you're willing to spend some money, even for newbies, veterans alike. If you're willing to spend money, seems like a solid purchase, especially like that glow sphere. Not sure what's the right way to translate that. And the super defense on those. It's a solid monster. In the Strike Shot details, Gear 1, you get a 20% buff to yourself, and the weak point reveal lasts for 1 turn, so it goes away after the turn's over. And the second gear is a 50% bonus, and the weak points show up for another 2 turns after you move. So there you go. Use that to determine if you think that you want to fight your wallet and just open it up to get that monster. Now let's take a look at the event quests. You can go here, and of course the 24/7 4 5-star quests, which of course by the nature of 24/7 means you can take it on whenever you want. We've got vodka and Chianti and corn. Sorry, I totally mistranslated them in the news video. It shows you how far off I am from them. Chianti and corn there. Obviously they're named after liquor, so I should have double checked on that. 4 5-star, of course, means you'll top out at 75 luck. You'll get a 15 bonus, and you'll see it as 90 luck. The 5-6-star direct drop quest features Bourbon. Here, you can take him on anytime you want. Make sure you do it every day. You don't need to bring any max lux because this is a direct drop quest. You can always tell which direct drop quest is because on the icon on the left, you'll see an egg that doesn't have a chest on it, which should be the indicator to you that there is no need to bring any max lux. You will get 7 drops if you clear it on the first clear you get for each day, so make sure you don't forget to do that to make your life easier max lucking Bourbon here. And of course, if you play co-op, there's a higher chance to get multiple copies when clearing the quest at the very end. If you play solo, you will not get 2 or 3 drops. If you play with co-op, and I don't know if this is confirmed, the more people you get, the higher chance it is to get 3, but usually I'll just play with my tablet, and that's good enough to get mostly 3 drops anyways. And of course, make sure you don't forget, you can always check out the schedule to get the other 2 quests that are related to the collab. We've got Hattori Heiji in the fire element, and we got Vermouth Beromoto in Japanese. Just understand that they pronounce it differently. Make sure you check your local schedule. Remember, these times are localized to your time zone, so there's no need to translate anything. I can wait until 3 a.m. tonight, or I can just, take him on at 8 p.m. tomorrow. Up to you. But make sure you understand that those will show up per the schedule. And we also have the Insidious quest. It features Kaito Kid here. Just a reminder that this quest, every monster gets plus 99 luck when you take him on, so you will not need any max luck monsters to finish him off. However, to take on his quest, you must use a calling card, which will randomly show up when you clear any of these collab quests. And it's not like you have to have one and then use it before you can get another one. You can just stock those calling cards and then use them when you want to. And of course, this is how it'll look. You'll get that calling card after clearing a stage. And this is important because I did misstate this on the news video. I apologize for that. You must be the host of the quest to get that card on the completion of the quest. You will not be able to get, let's make it absolutely clear. You will never get a calling card if you are joining a quest as a guest. But this is an important distinction. You can still join a hosted Kaito Kid quest, even though you yourself do not have a calling card, right? So if your friend did all the hard work farming for all of those quests and all you care about is Kaito Kid, that's fine. That your friend can host and you can join to your heart's desire. There is no problem on that. And if you happen to get a calling card, you will see his quest here on the event screen. You can see that I don't have any right now, so the quest is not up there, but on the image you can see on the top right, it will show you how many calling cards you have in case you are curious. Now, we've talked about this on the news too. The inventions are here. You go to the professor there, and every time you clear any collab quest, each treasure chest that you get for clearing that quest will contribute a point to the professor's invention here. Each chest is worth 1 point. 15 points gets you an invention, and there are a total of 4 different inventions possible. You can see there on the screen, on the screenshot there, that you will see which invention is under creation at the moment, and you'll also see what's coming up next. And whatever's coming up next was randomly rolled by the game, so there's no pattern, there's no distinct expectation on what's coming up next. It's pure random what could come up. However, this is an important note, that each invention you can have a maximum of 4 of. Make sure you keep that in mind, because if you are at your max, then you're not going to be able to bank any more points to make anything. So make sure you use it so that you are not wasting your stockpile of inventions here. So again, each invention has a maximum of 4 copies you can make. And just a real quick summary of the inventions that you can get in the game You've got the watch, which will delay all enemies at the start of each stage by 1 turn. You got the skateboard, which will start your game with everybody's strike shot activated and ready to go. The shoes will increase your team's attack and bump combo by 20%, and the glasses will increase the experience points you get for clearing a quest by 50 times. And yes, that is a times, not a percent. 50 times, which is crazy. Now, this is an important distinction because this is not the case in past collabs. Usually when you get some gimmick with the collab, it only applies to collab quests. For this collab, all of those inventions are eligible to any of the event quests you see here, right? These are all event quests. You can, if you want, you can take on Moral here and use your inventions to make it easier, which is insane, right? All you have to do is click the green button here to swap to your inventions, and you can use them to your heart's desire to make it easier. Now, this is a great opportunity to clear these, maybe these Chokyukyoku quests, these Gozetsu quests that you might have difficulty with. Being able to take advantage of, again, remember, you are getting all of these bonuses that just doesn't exist for these quests. That's a very interesting proposition you're able to use. So obviously you can use them to help you out with Kaito Kid, for example, or whatever Insidious number 2 quest that they come out with, but keep that in mind that these apply to regular event quests as well. Now, I'm going to say this again, it's event quests only, so you can't go over here to your normal quests and like, oh yeah, let me use my experience here for these quests that I haven't finished. No, that's not going to happen. You're not going to see them as an option here, right? So you can't use the inventions there. And actually, I'm curious, will it actually apply to something like the Kinki no Goku here? It is under the event menu, but no. So you can't use it here because it's not within the event actual screen. So this is the events tab, but you actually have to go into the event menu here. So anything here will apply, which I guess is interesting to see if any of these ticket quests give more experience than usual, but I don't think so. Anyways, if you're curious about what quests you might want to take full advantage of the bonus here, Gozetsu quest, which again we've got Moral up right now. That's about 5.9k experience. You multiply by that 50, you get 295k for clearing that quest, which is quite a pretty penny there. And maybe you stack on an experience Able Berry on top of that. Maybe you got lucky with the Mon spot today and you get more experience. You could be doing some good experience farming with that. So keep that. And some other difficulties, we got the Chozetsu and the Bakuzetsu. Sorry, I just left it in Japanese there for some reason. That's about 3700k experience. That boosts up all the way to 185k with the glasses. And your standard Kyukyoku stages will be 2.2 experience, 2.2k, turns into about 110. Definitely nothing to laugh at. Think about it. Alright, daily missions. You can see that there is Mori Kogoro's office there that you can use to investigate some new happenings here. You've got 11 different missions that you can take on. You can see that most of them are locked. You need to complete missions before you can take on the harder ones. So you can't do number 2 until you complete at least one mission, which again, you're going to finish the first one, obviously. The third mission you require 2, fourth through 6th requires 3 missions completed, 7th requires 7, and 8th through 11 requires 9 missions completed. And do note that you can only take on missions 8 through 11 once each. Everything else you can take on multiple times to your heart desire. Now this is important to note that to complete a mission it takes 12 hours. So you won't be able to pick up your reward until that time has elapsed. So do keep that in mind. You can also see the status of what your discovery is at. If you see red text there on that building, that just means you haven't investigated for that day yet. Make sure you go in and quickly pick one, because time is running out there. If you see it in yellow, that means the investigation is in progress and it has not completed yet. And once it turns blue, that means it's done. If you see the exclamation mark there, that means you still have not picked up your reward for that day yet. Make sure you do that. But if you see it just already done, then well, you've picked it up and you're good for that day. The reset happens at midnight every day in Japan time, so make sure you don't forget to do that. And right, just a quick summary of the rewards. We can take a look at it in game 2, so you can see that they get better and better. Mission number 4 does give you a Kaito Kid ticket. If you feel like luck is not on your side, you can definitely get one that way. And then 7 through 11 are all super type, or sorry, 8 through 11 is super type scrolls, and 7 is that special Conan collab scroll. And of course you can see that every investigation does give you 10 copies of Mori Kogoro here, so you can easily max luck him as long as you do not forget to take on these investigations. And I guess I already jumped the gun by saying, 7 gets you that collab focused Ableberry slot. It has to be a Conan collab monster, but you can give them an Ableberry slot that way. And of course 8 through 11 is once each. It's one of the each 4 types of the monsters that exist in the game. You can turn them into a super type with this scroll. And of course all of these rewards from 7 through 11 must be used by May 18th, 3:59 a.m. Japan time, or they will disappear forever. So if you pick up those rewards, please do not forget to use them before they disappear forever. Alright, we can go into the login rewards for the collab. We've got the investigators there on the left. You will get 10 copies of them each day. I know I got them. So they're nothing fancy here. No warp, no speed down wall, no block and strike shot turn reducer. Strike shot is a speed up and heals all monsters around them. And bump combo is the ever fun super all element homing 25. So, and nothing special, but of course they do function as a max luck for the duration of the collab, regardless of their current luck. So for new people, you can definitely use it to help you out get started with various things. Day 2 and 5 you'll get some Tokudamas, and day 3 you'll get a good job sticker featuring Conan, which is nice. And of course, before we go, I wanted to just review again what they teased on the last news before they left. The next Conan's hit, which they always do, in the anime, which is, foreshadowing something that's like a key, item to look out for in the, resolution or a hint to something in the next episode. Obviously this would be hinting to something that would be announced in the next episode. And like I said, there's 2 avenues of thought. Of course from Conan's point of view, we've got one of the main bosses, I guess the bad guys that showed up at the beginning here, Vodka. He does have a partner in crime, Jin, and he is nowhere to be found in this game right now, and that makes no sense. So I think it's 99.999999999 confident that we're gonna see that the next Chokyukyoku quest is gonna feature Jin, or Jin and Vodka together. I have no doubt that's gonna happen. But the other question is this going to be foreshadowing anything in the world of Monster Strike? And like I said, obviously shot glasses are used for hard liquor. And the first name that popped out to me was Tequila. And so if we could get a Tequila Transcension Kai next week, that would be a great, 1-2 punch of the collab as well as Monster Strike with the same theme going here with that shot glass. So we'll see how that goes. I'm super excited to see what happens next. I've just barely touched, the collab. You can see I did everything once at the very least. But we're gonna finish these guys off, max luck everything, and look forward to tomorrow, which will feature my gacha pulls, and hopefully they go well, because you can see I haven't pulled yet. Hoping for the best. Anyways, if you like what you saw, hit the like button, subscribe, especially if you're new here because of Detective Conan and you're curious. This is the place to get your English news. News, of course, happens every night on Thursday or in the late hours of Wednesday, depending on what time zone you're in. You'll see news here all the time, so subscribe to make sure you don't miss out on that. ENG Monst is also available for you to get the latest news. I will summarize all the slides there as well. And of course, don't be afraid to join the Discord channel, where we have a whole community who also speaks English and loves the game. That's it for me today. Thank you for watching. If you have any questions, let me know. Otherwise, until next time, bye bye.